What is up, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight. Hope everyone out there has had a great Tuesday. And as always, I hope you guys are ready for another 2024 fantasy football draft because that is what we are hopping into tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Hopping right into a fast puppy on Underdog Fantasy because I cannot get over this tournament. Uh, Gosh, the fill rate 40.8%. I don't know. Something about this tournament. I want as many entries as possible. I think we've drafted like every night. It's only Tuesday, but we've drafted every night this week. We've drafted every night since Saturday because I took a couple days off last week. So I will enter the lobby at 10:25 p.m. Eastern Time. 10:25 p.m. Eastern Time for anyone out there who wants to hop in with me. Okay, 20-second clock, 200K till first, excuse me, $5 entry. If you guys are new to Underdog Fantasy, of course you can get a first time 50% deposit match up to $250 with promo code the catch, and the link is down below. All right, hop in the live chat. Let me know how you guys are doing. J-Dubs, I think you're in here. I just saw your Discord notification, so I think I just answered that for you, but we're hopping in the fast puppy. James, which team did you like the most from the off-air mock? I didn't look at anyone's teams except for mine. I actually still have it pulled up here. Thank you guys for running the off-air mock with me, though. Your team looks okay, J-Dubs. It looks pretty similar to what I did. In a sense. For anyone out there, 10:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Fast puppy. Be there with me. Okay? I'm trying to stare at the clock and look at this mock draft board. It was an interesting mock. All right, now I don't want to stare at the clock and look. I feel I'm going to miss. I don't want to miss my 5:25 entry. 10:25. I can't even talk. There's a lot of good value in this draft, though. Mock draft, I should say. All right, we're counting down. Less than a minute, boys and girls. There we go. We're in the lobby. Wow, that filled. Hopefully you guys got in with me. Okay, J-Dubs got in at least. We must have been the last two. At the 1.2, can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? I feel like a pro from the 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. 1.4 as well. I mean, I'm okay with it. It is what it is. Cat, sorry you missed it. That's the fastest I've seen. Like, literally, that's the fastest filled draft I've seen all year long. I don't know if I'm going to be... I might be up to the second one. I'm already feeling... I've had a longish day. I have so many, like... I'm not going to complain. Okay, he goes CeeDee Lamb. I'm just going to go C-Mac here. I know it like sounds crazy. I'm complaining, but literally, like I know these numbers aren't going to be crazy necessarily, but my exposure. Let's just look at C-Mac. I mean, 12.5% drafted for Christian McCaffrey. I feel like is pretty high. Lamb is at 15.6. And Hill is at 18.8. Like, those are high numbers. Chase is going to be lower. He's at 3.1. JJ is at 6.3. Amon-Ra might be. He's at 21.9. So I have so many drafts from the anywhere between the 1.1 and the 1.5. Like those are pretty high numbers for, other than Chase, essentially the top 6 players off of the board. And it's because I prefer, earlier in the season, off season, I preferred JJ over Chase, and then I was pretty aggressively drafting Amon-Ra also before Chase. So yeah, I mean, just goes like 75% of my drafts at this point. I went through and counted like 2 weeks ago, and I was at like 70% at that point. Have been from the 1.1 to the 1.5. So Shane, what's going on, man? Good to see you. What up, what up? I'm not using the overlay yet, J-Dubs. But I'm thinking about it. All right. Sorry. Trying to pull up one thing here. Yeah, I actually reached out to Fantasy Dog Pound, but I haven't heard back from him. Kind of interested to see like some of the more dynamics of. I mean, it looks like the overlay's kind of exclusive to their Discord and stuff. So, all right, I'm back on the board any second here. Gosh, I just have so many shares of Mike Evans right here that I just want to switch it up. Let's just go double hero running back tonight. Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up. Give me a little Devon A-Chain share. I totally didn't pay attention to my rules. I'm just gonna go Mike Evans here. No, I said every now and then I go double hero running back. I take that back. So my rules were only hero running back or 4 wide receiver starts. But I said every now and then I'll go double hero running back. So here's my first double hero running back team in a while. I was trying to avoid what is my exposure to Evans? 18.8. Okay. I guess that's fine. I mean, the thing I like about taking Evans is you can get a free stack. You can get Baker at 167, money. Free secondary stack. Right now, I don't really know what our first stack is, but we'll find out. Yeah, because Debo wasn't there at the 211. Okay, let's talk about Brandon Ayuk. Sorry. That's what everyone's talking about tonight, which to me, I'm I'm not really I'm okay that we're talking about Ayuk here. But I'm not surprised that Ayuk is requesting a trade. Weren't we already expecting this to happen? Ayuk goes at the 2.3 tonight, and I'm actually a little surprised by that. Although that's just one specific drafter, but I thought he'd fall back a bit because I do think I think this is going to affect his ADP ultimately, but Yeah, like, is anyone surprised that Ayuk requested a trade? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone is really surprised by this news. We kind of expected this to happen. So, um, I I don't even know what to say really. Like, I think Ayuk is gonna hold out? No, because I think it's just he has no leverage here. It's just a bad move if he holds out. That's why he's requesting a trade. Um, it's just a weird situation, and um, I still feel like there's a strong chance that, believe it or not, that the Niners and Ayuk get a deal done. I just think this is one of those things in terms of trying to gain leverage that Ayuk has to do. Um, but I don't think the Niners want him to go anywhere. I think they're in Super Bowl mode right now. Obviously, this roster's still built to win a Super Bowl. So, yeah, I don't know. And then, of course, Ricky Pearsall shows up on the non-football related injury list today. Like, of all things that could potentially also happen, which, yeah, I'm like, you would expect Ricky Pearsall just to kind of be locked right into that wide receiver 2 spot if Ayuk's not there behind Debo. And am I worried about the Ricky Pearsall thing? No. Like, it's July 16th, okay? But this was a bit of a surprise and just like bad timing, you know. We'll see what happens with that though. It could be a bigger deal than maybe I'm making it out to be, but we'll see what happens. All right, give me Christian Kirk all day long right here. And I'll probably try and go Hollywood Brown at that next pick. See what the 1.1 does. But man, my exposure to Hollywood Brown's getting pretty high. So maybe I'll go Terry if he's right here. Could go Jaden Reed. Hollywood is at 37.5. He's up there, man. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. Let's go Scary Terry. Once again, we're just in a position, we're scouting out late round quarterbacks. Daniels goes 101.2. Maybe I'll go after some Washington Commanders players tonight. Who does Washington play week 17? Not Dallas. Dallas plays Philly. Washington plays Atlanta. Interesting. Albert, good to see you. What's up, dude? How are you? Cats, I thought Ayuk requested a trade a month ago, right? It's like, is this really news? I guess he's officially requested a trade. So, whatever. You guys know this about me. Like, I hate off-season stuff like this. Like, what did we have? Was last year the Lamar Jackson thing? The year before we had like Rodgers. Last year, or was it the year before it was Lamar? Anyways, last year we had the running backs like Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Austin Eckler. Meh. And I told you guys last offseason, especially in best ball, draft Barkley. If you like Jacobs, draft him. When Eckler, and I know Eckler didn't work out, but he went from being like a top 4 or 5 pick, top 6 pick to like end of the first, beginning of the second. I'm like, draft these guys at their ADP while you can, because it's just not going to. JT, thank you, Albert. JT's the other guy. Yeah. JT situation was like kind of what's going on here, but yeah, like when you see players just take drastic fallbacks in ADP in the off season, like take advantage of that, right? Like last year, Breece Hall was another guy. I was like, Draft Brees Hall. Like, I got Brees Hall in like the 7th or 8th round in a league last year, just because that specific league was like really, really off of Brees Hall, and coming back from injury or whatever, and because his start to the season was like a little murky, and it's like that one worked out right. But that team, it's interesting because that team ended up. I don't remember who my RB1 was, but I don't know. That was one of those teams that I drafted like super well. And like a ton of my players got hurt. I was like last in that league and had Brees Hall for no reason. But anyways, there's my story. So, all right. What am I doing here? Pick 71, 74. When is Rachaad White going to get drafted? I'll take Rachaad White if he's there. Rachaad White, Xavier Worthy, Roma Dunze, Kenneth Walker, Jordan Addison, Ladd McConkey. There's some studs available here. But yeah, I wasn't really planning on going running back with this pick, but I don't know if White's even going to fall here. Okay, there he goes. I was like, I don't know. Give me Christian Watson. Beautiful wide receiver 4. We could go tight end here. I don't really feel like we need to get a third running back. We got two. Like, if I'm going double here, running back, I'm truly punting RB3 through 5. I might just go Xavier Worthy. Yeah. I like JSN. Okay, Jordan Addison as a wide receiver 5. Let's get a little Xavier Worthy in here. Plenty of upside with our wide receiver 4 and 5 and Watson and Worthy. So I'm good with that. And then this might just be a team where I kind of say whatever at tight end. Going against my rules tonight. We'll see who's available at 95 for tight end, though. We might want to take another running back soon. I don't know. I kind of like drafting from the 1.2. I feel bad because I have Devon Achane, and I don't think I'm going to draft another Miami Dolphins player on this team, unless it's like I don't think I'm going to draft Tua, right? I guess I don't really feel bad because that means whoever is Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddles got a better chance to get him, right? So, whatever. No reason to feel bad. Other than I'm just drafting a single Miami Dolphins player, not correlating here. All right, but double here, running back, C-Mac, A-Chain, Evans, Kirk, McLaurin, Watson, Worthy. I'm still okay with that wide receiver room for going double here at running back. Gotta look out. So I don't think 1.1 is going to go tight end anytime soon. So I don't think I have to go tight end at 95. Two teams before me don't have a tight end. And Fergie just got selected. It's kind of a weird spot, like, because I might just push tight end to a 119. So I think, man, Swift is getting drafted more often. I don't say more often. He's just not like, I was seeing him get kind of pushed back a couple spots, and just lately I'm not really seeing that. And me, as a firm believer in DeAndre Swift, I was enjoying that. Yeah, and running back just gets decimated here. Give me Brian Robinson. Good quarterbacks available here. Dak Prescott and Jordan Love. But we're going to switch it up tonight. Okay. We're going to do what the 1.1's doing. I'm going Jaden Daniels here. Okay. He's going Trevor Lawrence because he has Brian Thomas and Evan Ingram. I'm going Jaden Daniels because I have Terry McLaurin and I don't have any exposure to that stack yet. I got Brian Robinson in here. And there might be some other Washington Commanders in our future on this team. We'll find out. Now, if I draft Jaden Daniels, it's like, that's fine. But do I really want him as my QB1? We're going to have to pay attention to the quarterback position. And, yeah, like I like Dak and Jordan Love more than Jaden Daniels going into the season. But you got to switch up that exposure. You got to get some different builds. Give me a little Washington Commanders action tonight. It does kind of suck because, like, you know, unless we go Kirk Cousins late. Who's got Pitts? Tyler has got London and Pitts. He could have gone Bijan too. So, I mean, yeah, we got Mooney and Kirko as the potential late round quarterbacks to correlate week 17 with. So I guess we can pay attention to that. I mean, it makes sense. Let's do it. All right, so we're looking at Jaden Daniels, Christian McCaffrey, Devon A. Shane, Brian Robinson Jr., Evans, Kirk, McLaurin, Watson, and Worthy. Do have to draft a tight end at some point. Shane asks, when do you think you will fill catch redraft league? I've been thinking about it. I generally do it the end of July. So that's probably what I'll do. Just stay posted on Discord. Probably the end of July, beginning of August. We got time. We got time. Man, Prescott, Purdy, Caleb Williams, all there. There goes Gus the Bus. There goes Prescott. There goes Caleb Williams. Purdy's still out there, man. Really wish Debo had fell. I mean, I'm happy for you, J-Dubs, but I really wish he had fell. So we have C-Mac, Debo, and potentially Purdy late, but whatever. I'm like halfway tempted to just take Purdy here if he's there. But I don't think we need to. I think we just fill out running back here at 119 and 122. Tough picks. Give me Jerome Ford. Ford as an RB4, I'll take all day long. Purdy's still hard to pass there, though. I might just take Purdy. See, like, it's just a tough pick, man. You know what? Let's do it. Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button. Okay, I'm fine with Eckler. That was my original pick. Staying with my Washington Commander stack. But I was about to just pick Purdy, but I accidentally hit, instead of draft, I hit like whatever the latest report was on him, that I ran out of time. Purdy's a good value there, though. Purdy is a QB2 behind Jaden Daniels. Like, we just be done at quarterback. It'll be interesting to see who's available at 143 and 146 for me. So I got some positional needs over here. But there are 2 wide receivers in that range that I kind of want for this team, too. I don't exactly know will be there. But we're done at running back. C-Mac, A-Chain, Brian Robinson, Jerome Ford, Austin Eckler. Like, we could draft one more just because we have Robinson and Eckler. So maybe late in this draft we'll look at that. I think overall we're okay right now. All right. Okay, at this point in the draft, I'm just going to throw together a queue. Don't know why I said it like that. All right, so I think I got a game plan for the rest of this draft. I still need a tight end, though. All right, interesting round or so here. There's like a lot of players at ADP that I want right here. Kind of juggling a couple different teams. Because week 17, you got Carolina and Tampa Bay. And you got Atlanta and Washington are the most relevant kind of correlation for week 17 for me to use here. Dang, I want a Cole Kmet there. It was Ricky Pearsall. But I feel like I have to take Jahan Dotson here. Okay, this might feel outlandish, but I'm going to take Kirk Cousins. Hopefully that wasn't a mistake. Like, I have every piece of Washington's offense right now. All right, then I'm going to take Darnell Mooney here. I think that's the smarter move to do. Disbanded Brotherhood, good to see you. What's up, what's up? There's a lot of options there. Like, I could go Xavier Leggett, try to get some pieces of Carolina, Tampa Bay later on. Mainly Carolina. They're all pretty obtainable based on ADP. But we'll just let Dotson go and get those 2 Atlanta pieces. We also missed out, like, completely at tight end. Like, I got to hammer tight end at some point, and it's going to be ugly. Yeah, there goes Thielen. So I think the Carolina thing is kind of gone here. Plus, I mean, There's only one Tampa Bay player on this roster right now. It's Mike Evans. We're just in position to take Baker. So just kind of like mapping that out in case. Yeah, it's just kind of in a position here at 143, 146, 167, 170, where like there's multiple players that make sense for this roster, and it's kind of hard to make the final decisions. Katz was reading an article on attacking a Best Ball Mania 1 through 4, on stacking a Best Ball Mania, 1 through 4, and stacking your quarterback with 2 to 3 players who've been the most optimal as opposed to getting the whole team or just one stack. Yeah, it makes sense. Like, I don't think you need the whole team. I really don't. No, weekly winners, I feel differently. Weekly winners, I think you can go for the whole team. I'll sit down and draft a whole team against ADP and just, it is what it is. I don't care. But I agree with that. Dang, I was hoping Chuba Hubbard would fall, but we don't have to have him. I think that's perfectly fine. You know, and it makes, like, that's kind of going back to, like, not taking Jahan Dotson there and just taking Kirk and Mooney, who correlate to the Week 17 matchup, as opposed to going Jaden Daniels, Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Brian Robinson, and Austin Eckler. It's like you miss one player. It's not going to kill anything, you know. It's going to be a tough pick or two right here, boys and girls. Give me Baker. Give me the moneymaker. And the reason why it's tough here is because I'm going to have to pass on Demarcus Robinson. And I just, like, hate it. I hate doing it. But I'll take Kate Otten. I got to take a tight end. I mean, this team's fine, but that's not what I prefer. Jaden Daniels, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, we're fine at quarterback. C-Mac, A-Shane, Robinson, Jerome Ford, Eckler. I mean, we're fine at running back. Evans, Kirk, McLaurin, Watson, Worthy, Mooney. We're perfectly fine at wide receiver. And Kate Ons are tight end 1. Like, if we hit on the right tight ends, this team is literally fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it if we hit on the right late round tight ends. But if we don't, then it's kind of like, well, we're screwed. And, like, this is now a build where I had to take 3 tight ends. So take one more wide receiver at some point and take 2 tight ends, and we're done with this draft. It's a perfectly fine draft. It's actually a good draft. But yeah, like, do I really prefer to take a third quarterback there? Not really, but it gives us a third stack. And we're able to add Kate Otten to the stack. Most of the time, I'm just going to take Demarcus Robinson there. So we look at these late round wide receivers, like, they suck, dude. I mean, really, once the wide receivers you see on the board are gone, like, I guess I should target Jalen McMillan. But yeah, it's like Devontae Walker, Say Jones, DJ Chark, Odell Beckham. Maybe take Khalif Raymond if you drafted Jared Goff. Like, really, you're just taking a team that, or a player that correlates to one of your stacks. Like, all you can do. Isn't, yeah, Rondell Moore is on Atlanta. Like, I might as well just draft Rondell Moore with my final pick. His ADP is 212, so McMillan, Rondell Moore in our sights. I was really hoping Ben Sinnott would fall. I almost went Otten and Sinnott with those last two picks. But this was a team where I kind of wanted another quarterback because Cousins coming off the injury, and then Daniels just gets absolutely decimated. Does not know to, like, just reminds me of Anthony Richardson, but smaller. You do another draft, sure. I'll do another one. Why not? No. Big stack bundles steals my player. It's fine. Just give me Chicken Conquo. And let's just go Mike Gesicki. Oh, I'm not even on the board yet. Yeah, I'll do one more after this. We'll do another puppy. Why not? Well, I've been streaming for 36 minutes, so sure. I got you guys. Good enough draft. Daniels with both his running backs. Terry McLaurin. Cousins with Mooney, which correlates week 17. Falcons, Washington Commanders. We got Baker with Evans and Kate Otten. Other running backs are A-Chain and Jerome Ford. And C-Mac. I forgot about C-Mac. He's kind of important. Other wide receivers are Kirk, McLaurin, Watson, Worthy. And then we're going to end this draft with one more wide receiver. Theoretically, Rondell Moore, another Atlanta player. Punt and tight end, Kate Otten, Chicken Conquo, Mike Gesicki. That makes me a little nervous. Oh, well. It happens. I mean, I could just draft one more tight end, but I don't really feel like anyone's worth. I mean, I don't know. Jelani Woods, Colby Parkinson, Dawson Knox, Tavion Sanders. Is Hayden Hurst the tight end one for the Chargers? Or is it Donald Parham? I don't know, man. Hayden Hurst kind of sneaky. Although he kind of sucked last year, to say the least. J-Dubs, what did you do? Lou, this is Puppy. We're just cracking through some puppies. All right, you got Tua and Caleb Williams. Caleb is with DJ Moore and Adunze. Nice. You got Roshan Johnson. It's a given. Kincaid and Johnny Smith. So you get Tua there at the end. The Johnu. Amon-Ra, Debo, DJ Moore, Jaden Reed, Roman Dunze, Tyler Lockett, Jermaine Burton, Malachi Corley, Stevenson Jones, Chase Brown, Ray Davis, Roshan Johnson. Good roster, man. Good entry. Shopkey, Chargers got dude from Seahawks. Forgot his name. Yeah, not really like a tight end room that I'm looking to target, but it is interesting. If you get some Charger shares, Will Disley. Like I'd take a shot on Hayden Hurst with my final pick if I had Herbert and Palmer, whatever, you know. All right, we'll take Rondell Moore. Give us one more Atlanta wide receiver. This is a solid enough entry. Daniels, Cousins, Mayfield, C-Mac, H.A., and Robinson. Ford, Eckler, Evans, Kirk, McLaurin. Watson, Worthy, Mooney, or Rondell Moore, Kate Otten, Chicken Conquo, Mike Gesicki. It'll work. All right. If you're drafting with me, I'll enter the lobby at 11:03 p.m. Eastern Time. It is now 11:03. That was really fast. 6 spots. Come get the spots. 5 spots. Get them, guys. Get in the lobby. 4 spots. Take them. 1 spot. Get the spot, guys. Okay, we're filled, ladies and gentlemen. Katz is here. J-Dubs is here. Let's go. We're all here, boys. I was wondering if Shane was going to make it in. And I'm at the 1-7. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Lou's in the house. That's your new name, by the way. Lou Tomsky. I'm just going to call you Lou. Let's go, let's go, let's go. If you're in the draft and I don't know your username, let me know. D-Money. I'll take it. I like D-Money more. J-Dub says, I'm so saucy with the correlation. Saw a Tua fall. Thought I can still get Johnny. There you go. You love to see it. You had a good little draft. All right. I want Bijan. That's who I want right here. Give me Bijan. Oh, J-Dub's right here. Dang it. Why are we right next to each other, bro? Take who you want. Okay. I want a little Bijan action right here. Let's go. A pick that's not in the top 5. You know I'm stoked. All right, so I'm hoping that Drake London falls. He probably will not. Week 17 is Atlanta versus Washington, as we just went over last draft. So who else can I take here? What's kind of second stack can we start to look at? I don't know. I think you just kind of go best available player, and then that's where your second stack is at. I sniped you on... Oh, I didn't snipe you on Kirk last draft. It was... No. I was like, is Drake London really going to fall? Who does... Oh, gosh. I'm not ready. I'm going to take Devontae Adams. I have no Adams shares. I almost went double hero running back again. So most of the time I'm taking Chris Olave there. And Las Vegas and New Orleans play that final in Week 17. Rain, what's up? Dynasty tight end premium superflex. Should I trade Pickens and a 2025th second for McBride? It's a fair trade for McBride, yeah. I'm perfectly okay with that. And now, Rain, let us know is how many wide receivers do you have to start? Are you win now? Are you going for kind of a longer term picture? What does your wide receiver room look like? You don't want to be left empty handed at wide receiver ever. Cat says, let's get weird. What are you doing? Where are you? St. Brown and Cup? Okay. Yeah, I'm switching up exposure with this draft. I might not even correlate so much in this draft as opposed to just switch up exposure. JS, is this half PPR? Underdog is half PPR. But you start 3 wide receivers, which kind of evens it out a tad bit. I'm gonna do a team that just gets me some different exposure. Give me Neighbors. Adams and Neighbors. I'm telling you guys, I don't think I have a share of either player. I don't. Don't have a share of either player. The Giants week 17 are probably they play the Colts. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so far, I have a late round quarterback in Kirk Cousins correlating to Bijan, and 2 free quarterbacks. 3 late quarterbacks, free quarterbacks, and Aiden O'Connell, Garner Minshew, and Daniel Jones. So the team before this one probably going to be better. You can rewind this stream, but I'm going to switch up exposure with this squad right here. Go hero running back. Just get the exposure a little tossed up. I want Amari Cooper. Give me Cooper. Give me Cooper. All right, let's take Cooper. Okay. So Rain has got Stroud. Daniels Baker, start 2. Okay. A-Chain Kyron. MH Jr., Pickens, Cooper, Ladd, D-Hop, Leggett, start 3. Otten is your weak point 3 flex. I'm a younger team, would have a lot of upside, I'd say. So to start 2 quarterback league, you're good at quarterback league. Don't move your quarterbacks. I just think if you lose Pickens, you're kind of in a tough spot at wide receiver because you have 3 flex. You're definitely improving tight end. And it's an okay trade for McBride. See if you can get something back though. See if you can get something back. Don't. I mean, you're drafting for one of the top dynasty tight ends, right? Or it's trading for one of the top dynasty tight ends. Don't get me wrong, but see if you can just get something additional back. Yeah, a depth wide receiver would be perfect, or even just a late round pick. I mean, you just got to think about it. You're going to be starting Stroud and Jaden Daniels, or Stroud and Baker, right? A-Chain and Kyron, which are both injury prone. Marvin Harrison Jr., Cooper, flexing Ladd, flexing D-Hop, flexing Leggett, starting McBride. Like you're not really set up to be a win now team. So, and that's, if you trade Pickens. If you don't trade Pickens, you're not necessarily set to be a win now team either. You're going to be starting Stroud, JD5 or Baker, H.N. Carter, and MH Jr. Pickens, flexing Cooper, flexing Ladd, flexing D-Hop. I mean, it makes it a bit better, but then you're starting Otten at tight end. What other players are on your bench? So, I think if you're okay with being a younger team, it's okay. I got to take Kyle Pitts here. Got to go Bijan and Pitts. You got Keaton Mitchell, Kendre Miller, Mooney. Yeah. So, I mean, I think if you get McBride, I believe in McBride. I was a McBride guy last offseason, okay? One of the things that I got right, So I believe in McBride long term. I believe in McBride. Yeah, McBride was a player I targeted in Dynasty startups last year, and I talked about as a potential redraft sleeper, but that I especially liked in Dynasty startups. So I do think it's a good enough trade, and you just have to understand, Pickens is in a kind of a pivotal point of his career, and he is kind of a similar build to Courtland Sutton. And you look at Russell Wilson to Courtland Sutton last year, obviously that was very successful, and I do think Pickens, is now going into a true wide receiver one spot. It's going to be really tested. Could have some really good games and everything this year, but I still think he's a boomer bust type player, kind of up and down, back and forth type of season. So, you just have to understand if you lose him. I still think, whether it's super flex, double quarterback, however you want to look at it, outside of quarterback, wide receiver, even if it's tight end premium, in my opinion, wide receiver is still the most important position in Dynasty. It holds the most merit in my opinion. So outside of quarterback, and I still think in single quarterback Dynasty leagues, people have a tendency to really at times undervalue quarterbacks too. I think their wide receivers probably still more important, but quarterbacks just a hair less important. So all right, so Frozen Gaming, what's up? In a tough 12 team, 2 keeper league, have Chase and Henry in the first pick. Good. Best available is Saquon, Harrison, and Garrett Wilson. It's a 1 quarterback, 2 wide receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end, 2 flex, half PPR. Who should I draft? Okay. So you have a wide receiver 1 and you have an RB1. So you really just have to look at your draft, and it's always difficult with keeper leagues, who was there, who was not there. You have to kind of ask yourself the question, do you want to go into your draft with a 2 running back build? And I think Henry and Barkley is, I like both players this year a lot. So I think Henry and Barkley is okay. I think there's a lot of upside there. But if you want to go Chase, Henry, MH Jr., Chase, Henry, Garrett Wilson, I have Garrett Wilson ahead of MH Jr. I'd rather have Garrett Wilson than MH Jr. personally. But it's still close for sure. And once again, I think you're either getting your wide receiver 2 or your RB2. You're in a good position here. Don't overthink it. You got a stud wide receiver 1. You got a stud RB2 or RB1. I'm sorry, and I think Henry's going to have a great season. So, don't freak out or anything. Just kind of look at the board and kind of try to determine: do I want to start my draft with 2 running backs? I mean, if you start with Henry and Barkley, you don't need to draft a running back till the very later round. you have your RB1, RB2, then you're just going to build some bench depth. Like you're going to be looking at players like DeAndre Swift, Raheem Mostert, Brian Robinson, Gus Edwards, Blake Corum, Jerome Ford, Austin Eckler. You know, like you got two studs, right? Sorry, let me make this draft pick. I was going to go Kamara. Don't ask me why. He's got the same bye week as Bijan, of course. But yeah, so that might be one way to look at it. You're still going to need to load up at wide receiver. But you have Chase as your wide receiver 1, you know? So I think, you know, if you go Henry and Barkley, you already have Chase, then rounds, I don't know if you lose another round, but you basically just stack up at wide receiver for a bit. Then in those late rounds, you just knock out those kind of depth running backs. Go late round quarterback, fill in at tight end when necessary. You'll be fine. Rain, do you think moving a bigger piece into 2 really good pieces is a better move? Well, I think your team, I don't think your team's going to be necessarily a contending team this year, even if you do so. Let me make this next draft pick. A second here. Do I want to go? Dang, I got 3 wide receivers with the same bye week. Gross. There goes Sutton. Gross. 2 running backs the same bye week. 3. Oh, there goes Zamir White too. All right, there's only one man I can draft here. It's DeAndre Swift. Yeah, so if you move 2 pieces, Rain, don't trade MH Jr., don't trade Stroud. I wouldn't trade JD5. I wouldn't trade Ladd. I'm more personally open to trading Leggett, but if you like him long term, don't. But like that's the thing. Like, who are you really going to add here? Because if you're going to stay young, even if you're going to acquire picks or whatever, like there's still certain players that like you don't trade unless you're blown away by the offer. Like you got to keep Stroud. JD5, I'm still keeping right now. You're not in a position where you can trade away A-Chain or Kyron, really, regardless of your build. You got to keep MH Jr. I'd keep Ladd personally. Then it's like, what, are you going to add D-Hop? What value does D-Hop really add unless you're like trading to a straight-up win-now team? And even then, they might look at it and be like, I'm not interested. Like Calvin Ridley's there. Tyler Boyd's there. They got 2 receiving backs, whatever, you know? You'd have to add Ladd or Leggett, and personally, I'm a fan of Ladd McConkey, so I'd keep Ladd. So I just don't know if it does a whole lot for you. Like, you're going to have to trade someone who I think doesn't make sense for you to trade. You know, if you're going to stay young, like, still try and keep some of those cornerstone pieces. And as a matter of fact, in your position, I try to keep all of them. So I think upgrading a tight end is fine. But this is also the time of year where I kind of try to remind people in Dynasty, you know, don't be making like drastic moves, like because training camp's about to start, and you just never know what's gonna really happen in training camp. Okay, sorry, I'm not prepared for these next 2 picks at all. But I'm going to take Jordan Love. I wanted Mostert. So, sorry, Jadis. I guess I sniped you on Watson. You sniped me on Mostert. It evens out. But, yeah, J-Lo with my boy Watson is fine. Wasn't really anyone there who, like, stands out to me. Frozen Gaming, that's what I was thinking. Henry and Barkley is nasty, but at the same time, Could have Chase and Wilson or MH Jr. for years since it's a keeper league. Think Henry and Barkley's more win now. That's fair too. Me personally, if I'm going to keep one of the wide receivers, I go, and this is fine too. Like kind of talked about, like, you know, there's kind of a nice strategy here if you just go Barkley, Henry, but still, if you go, you know, you have Henry and Chase as your keepers in your draft, I would draft Wilson personally. If you draft Marvin Harrison Jr., that's okay too. But then you're just in a hero running back position, right? Which you can go into a draft. Like, once again, it's hard to say with what keepers are there or not there, but you can go into the draft with a pretty clean strategy and not have to fear a whole lot. Hero running back, really regardless of who's there or not there, is still going to be a viable strategy. Sniped on Gus the Bus. But I have an enormous amount of shares, so that's fine. I'll go Tajay Spears. I got some receiving upside at running back. Bijan Robinson, Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Swift, and Tajay Spears. My wide receivers are kind of lacking over here. Dang, I was hoping Jerome Ford would fall, but I also wasn't really counting on it. I'm not overthinking this draft. I'm just drafting. Dang, Wicks gone. Lame. It's okay. Don't have to have every player. Just give me Jordan Love. Jordan Love and Watson will do. I think I'm really going to punt wide receiver. I think I'm just going to fill out the rest of my positions and just end this draft. I think I'm going to do 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. So I'll probably go running back with this next pick. What would that put me? That put me drafting at 162 for wide receiver. Gosh, so ugly. I don't know. I might just take a wide receiver here. I might take a running back. Yeah, I'll go Eckler here. I don't know. It's going to be a weird entry. I'm okay with it. Rain, I'm a big believer in Pickens. Maybe hold. See how even a quarter of the season goes before looking at tight end, because you're right. Not exactly a contender at all right now. In a season or two, sure. Yeah. Because who knows? Maybe after this coming season, Pickens is like much more valuable. Then again, maybe McBride is too valuable that you can't trade for him. So these are like the tough decisions that you had to make in Dynasty. All right, if you guys didn't see today's video, there it is in the chat. Also forgot to pin the promo code to the chat, but there's today's video. 5 running backs I have been drafting. Start drafting them now. Not so sure they're going to last. Oh, no, he's going to take Cousins. He's got Drake London, and he needs a QB too. Oh, God. I would just like... I wasn't even paying attention to that. That was scary. Scariest moment of my life. I was like, oh no. Okay. Thank you, Mets 11. All right, so we're done at quarterback. This next pick's going to be tough. It's either going to be Mooney or Musgrave, hopefully. Kind of needs to be Mooney. The way this team is looking, but Musgrave definitely makes sense too. Cats, do I push Stafford here? I just saw your. I guess you did. You got a good shot here, but team 2. Oh no, we got Mooney sniped. I think this is the most likely team to take him, and they take Chubb. So I think you're good. Because this team's got Purdy and Mahomes, so good push. Apparently, I could have pushed Cousins, but I'm just not risking that. No way. Oh, brutal out here. Oh, a whole nother round? To 165? I am banking on it. Ooh. Dang, I just got double sniped. I got to go wide receiver. Gosh, these wide receivers suck butt. Let's go to Mario Douglas. Just screw tight end 2. I don't even care anymore. What a gross team I just drafted. Sniped on. What is Mike Wadalwa doing out here? Taking. I mean, that makes sense, I guess. He needs a tight end 2. What is Baller Bear doing? Taking Mooney from me. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to take Matthew Stafford, Cats. Who has Puka? That's got to be what. He's got 2 quarterbacks, so it might be clear. Oh, I think that was an auto pick too, bro. Well, at least he said he had 2 back doors open. That's the thing. Like, Stafford is a popular quarterback. He's a tough quarterback to push that far. I thought you were just pushing him 1 round there. This might be a reach, but I'm scared about my wide receiver room right now. I almost went Chuba Hubbard there, but I just got to sit at 5 running backs. I got to get some wide receiver help. I mean, now I'm at 6 wide receivers. I feel better, but I really wanted Luke Musgrave on this team, man. Oh, well. These things happen. Okay. I think I might know where you're going to go, Cats. I forgot we had so many people in this draft together. I still feel okay about this draft. I just drafted weird players that I don't generally draft. This is going to be a true Kyle Pitts team. I can tell you that. Like, I think I'm only taking 2 tight ends in this draft. So I think I'm about to load up at wide receiver. I've been drafting a bit of Malachi Corley lately. Malachi Corley, Troy Franklin, whatever. I got Adams, Neighbors, Amari Cooper, Christian Watson, Demario Douglas, Demarcus Robinson, Malachi Corley. Bijan Kamara. I'll pull it up for you guys. Bijan Kamara, Swift, Spears, Eckler. We got J-Lo stacked with Watson. We got Kirko stacked with Bijan. Pitts. Just okay. I mean, this team's fine, but yeah, it's different, which is good. I was trying to kind of switch up exposure. Yeah, I thought you were going to go Geno, and that works out for J-Dubs. Happy he gets Will Levis with Calvin Ridley. You got Caleb Williams stacked again with 2 Bears players. Nice. Gosh, the wide receivers in this range suck. They're just so bad. I'm going to take Ben Sennett if he's here. Most of the time, I take Chicken Conquo. But we're going to switch the exposure up. J-Dubs, you might be looking at Chicken Conquo. Not surprised you took Roshan Johnson. Now, I will take Chicken Conquo as my tight end 3. Like, now I'm kind of feeling like I might go with a 3rd tight end. We can still finish with 8 wide receivers, 5 running backs, 2 quarterbacks. Maybe I'll take another tight end here. Cats had Watson and Stafford sniped. Oh, you wanted both of them. Oh, I see. Back to back there. You weren't even. I just thought because you took Noah Fant, you might be in. And he had Zach Charbonnet. But Njoku Watson makes sense. It happens. I mean, I guess you still got T-Law. Is T-Law stacked? Yeah, you got Brian Thomas. You're still doing things over there. D Money goes Baker and Drake May behind Prescott. Yeah, I'll take Chicken Conquo here. And then I'll take a wide receiver to end this draft, whoever's there. Like, am I really going to take Rondell Morgan in a draft? Second draft in a row where I ended up with the Falcons' Kirk Cousins stack. Last one, definitely not as intentional. This one, much more intentional, having Bijan and Pitts on this team. What a weird wide receiver room. Jadeb's a little salty because I had DK JSN, but that's my fault for drafting mobile. Can't see the board. Oh. Do you have both? You do have DK and JSN. Oh. So when you said thanks, Cats, you wanted Geno. You didn't want Will Levis. Levis was a good backup option for you, though. Rain says Corley was a good pick. Yeah, I've been taking him a lot as like a wide receiver 7-ish. I like him in that range. The Rodgers, Corley kind of late stack is easy to obtain too. I guess I'm taking Rondell Moore here. Like, I feel like it just makes the most sense. I mean, we got 3 wide receivers that make me feel better, but it's still a weird wide receiver room. I don't know. I got 3 wide receivers on a week 10 bye and 2 on a week 12 bye. Pitts is on a week 12 bye. Bijan and Kamara on a week 12 bye, and Cousins on a week 12 bye. Then J-Lo, Adams, Cooper, Watson on a week 10 bye. But these things happen. All right, so there's a squad. J-Lo stacked with Watson. Cousins got Bijan and Pitts and Rondell Moore, if you care about that. So J-Lo and Cousins, Bijan, Kamara, Swift, Spears, and Eckler. Adams, Neighbors, Cooper, Watson, Demario Douglas, Demarcus Robinson, Malachi Corley, and Rondell Moore. Like I said, beginning of the draft, switching up exposure. Adams, Neighbors, and Cooper. Definitely just trying to get some exposure change there. Kyle Pitts, Ben Sinnott, and Chicken Conquo at tight end. That's a solid entry. We'll take it. All right, D-Money. What's this team? We got Prescott, Baker, and May. Prescott's got Lamb. That's enough. Baker, Money Maker's got Rashad White. Fine. Drake May has got KJ Osborne. Okay. The Cowboys and Eagles play week 17, right? You got Barkley, Devonta Smith, and Goddard. Barkley, Jacobs, White, Walker, Chubb at running back. Good enough. Lamb, Smith, McLaurin, Myers, Dotson, Roman Wilson, KJ Osborne, Brock Bowers, Dallas Goedert. Nice entry. Most weeks you're hoping to start Prescott, Barkley, Jacobs, or White. Lamb, Devonta Smith, McLaurin. You might be flexing White or Jacobs or Walker. But you can flex Dotson, Thielen, and Myers too. Bowers and Goddard, I think, good enough tight ends. This is a good enough entry for sure, man. Cats, we got T-Law and Geno. T-Law's got Brian Thomas. Parker Washington. Okay, Geno Smith has got Charby. And and Noah Fant. I was like, there's someone else. We just talked about it. All right, Kyron Williams, Pacheco, Connor, Corum, Charbs. I mean, good running back room. Amon-Ra, Cup, Brown, Thomas, Pearsall, Michael Wilson, Khalif Raymond, Parker Washington, and Njoku, Henry, and Noah Fant. So most weeks you're hoping to start T-Law, Kyron, Pacheco, except week 6. Week 6 you're starting Connor and Charby. Amon-Ra, Cup, Hollywood. Except week 6 you're starting Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, and Ricky Pearsall. So T-Law, Kyron, Pacheco, Amon-Ra, Cup, Hollywood, Brown. Flexing James Conner. Maybe or flexing Brian Thomas or Ricky Pearsall, then starting David Njoku. Don't worry too much about the bye weeks. It's just 1 week. Those other guys could ball out for you. All right, J-Dubs, what we do, man? We got Caleb Williams, Will Levis, and Bryce Young. So Caleb, you got Roschon Johnson late, but more importantly, DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. Will Levis has got Calvin Ridley. I was kind of surprised you didn't take Chicken Conquo, but I just like Chicken Conquo. Bryce Young, you got Chuba. and Sanders. The Bryce Young, Jatavion Sanders stack. It's a classic. So good work there. Like you said, that's not who you necessarily prefer, but that's who you got. ETN, Mostert, Singletary, Algier, Chuba, Roshan Johnson. Good enough. JJ Metcalf, Moore, Ridley, Odunze, JSN, Gabe Davis. Nice. Jake Ferguson, Sanders. Nice. So most weeks you're probably hoping to start Caleb Williams, but it could be maybe any of these guys. ETN, Mostert, JJ Metcalf, Moore, flexing Ridley. But you have, I think, 3 potential flex options in Odunze, JSN, and Davis, and hoping to start Jake Ferguson. So you know what you're doing, man. Good entry. Good entry by all you guys. How good do you think Amari will be going into next season? Fine-ish. Boom or bust. Fine-ish. Wide receiver 3 territory for me. Jada says he should be boom or bust type, a wide receiver, unless Watson has a resurgence, but can be consistent with good quarterback play. Yeah, he's like any of those veteran players in that range. McLaurin, I think, is kind of similar. Calvin Ridley might be kind of similar. Still a wide receiver 1, though. Surprised Parker Washington's hardly drafted. He was decent in spurts last year, and there's some open targets available with Zay and Ridley gone. Yeah, I mean, it's a free pick, so if you take Trevor Lawrence, I'm not against it. Pretty high on Malik Washington as a late-round pick if I have Tua. Yeah, in terms of those late-round picks, like Jalen McMillan, if you have Baker, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, I like. Michael Wilson, I think, is popular if you went with Arizona Cardinals stack, right? Khalif Raymond makes sense if you took Jared Goff, or if you're just on Cat's team, apparently. Devontae Walker, of course, if you got Lamar Jackson, I think makes a lot of sense, but I also think is okay standalone. I've taken some shots on Zay Jones, but last year was very disappointing compared to the year before. Rondell Moore, if you take Kirk Cousins. Parker Washington, I think, is fine if you take Trevor Lawrence. Really with these late round guys, like, you're just looking at how does it correlate to your respective team. Like, it makes sense. Like, this guy drafted Drake May. Why not just take KJ Osborne? It's a free pick, right? It's your last pick. So yeah, you just kind of have to think about that. It's worth the shot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that should do it for the night. Thank you to those of you who came out to the off-air mock draft earlier. Thank you to those of you who hung out tonight and drafted. I think, I still feel better about the first team that we drafted tonight, but this was a good kind of change of exposure, little team that we threw together here. And the team still makes sense. J-Lo with Watson, Cousins with Bijan and Pitts, Bijan, Kamara, Swift, Spears, Eckler, Adams, Neighbors, Cooper, Watson, DeMario Douglas, Robinson, Corley, Rondo Moore, Kyle Pitts, Ben Sinnott, Chicken-Conquo. It's still an okay entry. Nothing wrong with it. But it does, if you just get used to drafting players and you start to get away in terms of exposure, it always kind of feels weird at first. But is a good idea to try and switch up that exposure. J-Dubs, thank you for gifting a 1-month free membership. Goes to our boy D Money. Rain, thanks for hanging out tonight. Thank you for the Dynasty questions. Always happy to help with those. Guys, hit the like on the way out. Watch today's video. The link is pinned there in the chat for you. I will probably be back on tomorrow. Sometimes I skip Wednesday, Thursday-ish. Terms of streaming, but we will have plenty of content coming out throughout the week, and I will at least do another off-air mock tomorrow because I need to start getting those racked up, filmed for videos for the channel. So just stay posted on Discord. We're at that time of year where there's going to be shorts coming out, there's going to be lots of live streams, there's going to be off-air stuff, community stuff, and there's going to be videos dropping on the channel from now all the way through the month of December, and then we'll do some fun stuff leading up to you know, Super Bowl and everything like that too. So it's that time of year, ladies and gentlemen. Training camp has officially started. So let's go. All right. Love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. I'll talk to you guys soon. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the Catch.